From McKeon Park in Hyannis, hello everyone and welcome into Pregame Tomahawk Talk. I'm your host Adam Gotkin as the Bourne Braves search to get back into the win column today against the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. This is the first time this season that the Bravos will face a team for the second time this year. When these teams first matched up, it was a 6-6 tie, the only tie that we have seen all year so far in the Cape League. That was a game where the Bravos looked really good early on and then struggled as the game went on. That's how things have gone pretty much throughout this entire season for the Braves. Last night, an 8-1 loss to the YD Red Sox where the bullpen had some issues in the end, and bullpen issues were the story of the game last night for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. They lost to the Wareham Gatemen and gave up multiple runs in the 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th innings. They gave up double-digit runs in that loss to the Gatemen, who have now become the top team in the Cape League. The Bravos hoping to catch this Hyannis team at the right time and knock them off in a victory. Well, let's get you the highlights from last night's game against the YD Red Sox for the Bourne Braves before we continue on here on Pregame Tomahawk Talk with an interview with Marek Houston and some other great pregame content.
Sparks out of the stretch, 1-0 is absolutely crushed to center field. Jackson can only watch it go over the fence, and YD grabs an early 1-0 lead thanks to a solo home run from their shortstop, Vahiva Aloy. There's been 8 times so far this summer for Bourne over the first 7 games where they've had 2 outs and have gotten a base hit to drive in a run. Penny looking to make that 9 right here and tie this game up at 1 apiece. But right now, 1-0 YD with the lead. Here's the 0-2 from Osbolt. Ground ball once again. It's past Aloy and into left center field. Here comes Houston around third base. And there's another 2-out RBI hit for the Bravos. This time it's off the bat of Jack Penny. And we're tied at 1 here in the top of the 3rd. Game tied at 1. Bourne tied it in the top half with a Jack Penny RBI single. Sparks takes a breath, fires in the 1-2, and it's swung on and missed by Martinez for strike 3. Nolan Sparks gets out of the bases-loaded 2-out jam with his 4th strikeout of the night, his 2nd of that 3rd inning. And we're still tied at 1 apiece going to the 4th here from Red Wilson Field. 1st and 3rd reset. 0-2, Neal goes again, and it's foul-tipped into the mitt this time for strike number 3, the 2nd strikeout of the inning for Sparks, and he works out of yet another jam here at Red Wilson Field in Yarmouth. Count even. The pitch from Nolan Sparks on the ground to first. Michelle throws to Houston for the first out. And there's no play at first base. Burris will score the go-ahead run on the fielder's choice by Aloy. And the Red Sox get that lead back. It's 2-1 YD. Runners on the corners with 2 away. A 2-1 count from Legurnick. There goes the runner at first. The throw goes to second. It's in plenty of time. Houston applies the tag, and that's going to end the threat. Adonis Guzman showing off the arm for the 3rd out here in the bottom of the 5th. And the Bravos limit the damage to only 1 run. Legurnick going from the stretch with the bases loaded. 1-1 offering to call. Ground ball to short. Marek Houston bobbles it initially, flips to second. The out will be recorded there on what would have been a tailor-made 6-4-3 double play. Turns into an RBI fielder's choice for Phoenix Call and makes it 3-1 YD. Now Legurnick. The 2-2 to Burris. Outside ball 3. The runner goes. The throw is into center field for Guzman. And that's going to allow the 4th run of the day to score for YD. McGee scores on the throwing error by Adonis Guzman behind the plate. And it's 4-1 Red Sox over to the Braves. So now Carmichael to the plate with the bases loaded and 1 away. First pitch. Deep drive to right center field. Back goes Viderick and Jackson, and it's a grand slam for YD. Easton Carmichael continues to stay hot here for the Red Sox. His first homer of the summer comes in grand fashion, and YD has blown it open here in the bottom of the 6th. It's 8-1. Jones out of the wind. The payoff offering is swung on and missed by Viderick, and that'll do it from Red Wilson Field. The Red Sox with a big 6-run 6th inning, and that'll anchor them to an 8-1 victory over the Bravos.
As we continue on here on Pregame Tomahawk Talk, I'm now joined by Cam Manna and Nathan Schwartz here on the field at McKeon Park. And Cam, I'm going to start off with you. This is the first time that the Braves have a repeat opponent this year. Took on the Harbor Hawks last week at Doran Park in a 6-6 tie.
And it was a complete game for most of it until the 8th inning, and then this Hyannis offense put up 3 runs. That's been the story right now for the Braves bullpen as a whole. They're not playing as much damage control in these long innings. We saw 6 runs last night from YD to put them away in the 8-1 victory. So Bourne played a very good game overall. The offense was there. They pitched well until late. We need to see here tonight Bourne play a complete 9 innings.
Yeah, those bullpen issues have really been the big difference for the Braves recently. A lot of blown games towards the end, and the Braves are going to hope that they can get another good start today from Donovan Zach, because recently the starting pitching has been pretty phenomenal.
It's been great, and Zach was really good in his first start. I thought last Monday at Chatham, we saw those 8 strikeouts where he was working with the fastball, very fastball reliant in that start. We started to see the breaking ball more towards the back end, but it's those 5 walks that we looked at last time. He didn't give up a hit, so if he can limit those walks, I think he's in for another good outing.
Yeah, the walks were the issue in that entire game against Chatham. They were really the big issue for this pitching staff at the start of the year, but the walks have kind of gone away recently. But with that, some of the hitting struggles have really started to blossom as the season has gone on, and the hits have just gone down and down, Cam, recently.
I'm not going to bring up a lot of different stats right now. The only one I'm going to bring up is Bourne has had 2 leadoff base runners in the last 20 innings. That's the one to me that is the most eye-opening right now. Bourne towards the top of the order. If it's Chris Stanfield, if it's whoever's at the top of the lineup has to get on base. And towards the bottom of the Braves order, there needs to be some reliance on no out and 1 out base runners. So that's what I want to see here tonight.
And not just not getting hits to start off innings, also not walking. This team has the least amount of walks out of any in the Cape League to start innings, and so often all you need is a walk to kickstart a run. Well, Pregame Tomahawk rolls on here from McKeon Park right now. Adam Gotkin now joined by Marek Houston here on Pregame Tomahawk Talk ahead of the Braves taking on the Harbor Hawks. Marek, first off, this is the first time that you guys are playing a team for a second time this season. Does that at all change the preparation going into the game?
Not at all. We just come out here, play the game of baseball, and trying to have fun and win a baseball game. So no, it doesn't change anything.
You're heading down to North Carolina in just a little bit to play for the U.S. Collegiate National Team. What's an opportunity like that mean to you?
Yes, sir. It's awesome. I get to see my parents are going to be down there, so I get to play in front of them and represent our country. It's a big honor, so I'm excited.
And before that, you've had your first part of the summer here in Bourne. What's your experience been like on the Cape League?
Awesome. The dudes are great. I love playing in our park. All the fans. It's definitely a unique environment, so I love being here. For sure.
And you guys have had some struggles a little bit offensively recently. What goes into trying to turn that around?
Yeah, we're just trying to get comfortable, get to where we can be to be successful, and that's, I think, being more comfortable in the batter's box, being more comfortable approach, and I think we're getting better. So,
what's it like when you have a big group of guys from everywhere across the country coming together? You're at Wake in the ACC. There's a couple of Virginia Tech guys. What's that like in the dugout?
It's fun. You get a whole lot of perspectives, and you get to learn from that. So it's cool to hear from a lot of different guys and a lot of different perspectives. So it's definitely interesting from that point of view. So.
And last year you were in the Perfect Game League. Now you're making the jump here to the Cape League. What's been the biggest difference for you?
Pitching, for sure. The level of pitching here is not what I thought, and it's a lot better than I thought. So, I mean, that's definitely a big difference, and just adjusting to that, yeah.
And you're an infielder. These parks are all a little bit different. They're very different, especially from what you see in the ACC. How do you get adjusted to maybe some of the weird hops?
Yeah, so you just got to kind of be more focused and kind of find your hop, pick your hop. It honestly makes you a better infielder trying to play here every single day, and just trying to get better. So.
All right, well, thank you very much, Marek. First pitch coming up in just a little bit. We continue on now here on Pregame Tomahawk Talk. Adam Gotkin joined by Sean Brennan, beat reporter for the Bourne Braves. And Sean, starting things off with this Hyannis team and its starting pitcher today, Ryan Dromboski. He's one of the best pitchers in all of Division I baseball.
Yeah, well, 2 years ago in 2023, he won the Ivy League Pitcher of the Year. He had a sub-4 ERA, very good stuff. This year, regressed a little bit. Had around a 7.5 ERA. The strikeouts were there. He had 71 in about 63 innings. But on the Cape, he's looked like his 2023 self. In one start against Chatham, he went 3 and 2 innings scoreless, fanned 4. So, a little bit of struggles this year, but he's looking very good in one start, and I'm sure he'll bring his stuff again today.
And one of the things with college baseball is you can't always read too much into certain guys' ERAs. There's always so much going on outside of just the guy's stuff, but we've seen Dromboski's stuff, and he can really blow it past guys. Now to this Hyannis team in general, throughout this season they've been one of the hotter teams in the league, but have slowed down a little bit recently.
Yeah, well, you mentioned it. They started 4-0 going into the Braves game at Doran Park. They were outscoring opponents 36-5. I mean, that's just dominant. But after the Braves game, they played 3 opponents, and they've let up 16 runs. They've scored 16 runs. They're 1-2 in those 3 games. So I think we kind of expected them to regress a little bit and come back down to earth, and that's what we're seeing. So it's a good time for the Braves to face them again. A very opportunistic game for a win.
You said it there. A lot of that regression has been because of the pitching, but the bats are still playing pretty well right now.
Yeah, well, John Gazdar, we saw what he could do. Hit a 2-run shot in the first inning with 1 out against Bourne. He's still gone 3 for 7 with a double. Eric Snow's another guy that has been swinging it well, and you can pick out a bunch of guys on this team that are swinging it well. Like you said, it's the pitching. That's expected at times, but this is still a very dangerous lineup, and if Dromboski can pitch well today, they're going to be a much dangerous team like the one we saw a couple days ago in Doran Park.
Well, Sean, thank you very much. First pitch coming up in just a little bit here from McKeon Park.